Now, you folks in Cincinnati, Ohio, who are listening over station Hello, Cincinnati. Got some here. Who are listening over station WSAI, our ABC outlet in Cincinnati, are going to meet an old friend right now that I think you're going to be glad to hear from. You folks, the rest of the country over, are going to meet a new friend whom I think you're going to admire and like as much as I did. It's a young lady with whom I had the pleasure of working when I was on staff back at WSAI in Cincinnati, long about, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And I worked as an announcer several times on her program, and I want you all to meet her. It's lovely Miss Kay Irion. Kay, come out and meet the people, will you? Hi, Kay. I'm going to pull up a chair and sit down. How are you?
Fine.
Oh, home week, huh?
Oh, yes.
Kay, I'll tell you, I know a lot of the people back in Cincinnati who know this story that you have to tell, and this will probably be more or less a repeat for them. But there's a lot of people listening in throughout the country that don't know too much about you and the program you had on the air back there called the BlueBird Club. First of all, I want to start out with you as a secretary. Weren't you at, we can say WLW.
Is that all right?
Yeah, we'll probably get fired, but I'll say WLW. It's the wrong network, but it's a station where we both work. That was how long ago?
Oh, 7, 8 years ago.
And you were secretary?
When you were there.
Yeah, secretary to...
Joseph Chernyavsky. He was a musical director there.
Uh-huh.
And I really loved my work, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I used to come in on Sundays, you know.
Even to work on
see
Sundays?
The program.
Then something happened that sort of stopped your work, eh?
Yes, we had a very unfortunate automobile accident, and I got a spinal injury that sort of put an end to my secretarial work, at least going back and forth to work, you know.
Every day, sure.
So
your home practically became a wheelchair then, didn't it?
Yes, it did. In fact, it was about 6 months before I was able to be up in a wheelchair. And then I decided I would have to do something else, you know, to take up my time. And I realized that even though you're in a wheelchair, you could get along, and life could be pleasant and happy. So
and you should keep busy.
Yes, by all means, keep busy. So someone suggested a radio program to me. You know, I had lots of friends at WLW, and they suggested having a program for shut-ins.
Now, shut-ins. Now, there you go. When I used to work with you 7, 8 years ago, you never let me call them shut-ins. You always said I had to call them stay-at-homes.
Well, that's right, Jay. We called our people stay-at-homes, but we don't stay at home, you know. We get out. Look here, I'm in California.
You sure are. You're still back in Cincinnati, and here you are. Had an interesting experience. You're a gadabout then, right?
But definitely.
Yes. Well, I know you had an interesting story with the airlines. Once you started to fly out here, you're allowed 40 pounds of luggage, you know, when you fly on an airline. So they considered her wheelchair 37 pounds of luggage, so she could bring 3 pounds of luggage with her. That meant you brought your purse and nothing else practically.
Toothbrush.
Huh? Toothbrush, yes.
Heavy toothbrush.
But her being a secretary, she wrote a letter to the president of the airlines and a few other people. So she and her mother came out with the wheelchair plus each of their 40 pounds of luggage.
Then I brought my dress, too.
Yeah. It was nice to have. Well, the BlueBird Club went on the air several years ago. It was on for at least 5 years, wasn't it?
Yes. We had a nice long stay.
You sure did. It was an unusual setup for a program because Kay didn't come down to the studio every day to do the show. She was at her home when we rigged up a microphone in her home, and then I'd be down in the studio with a wonderful guy who played the organ back in Cincinnati by the name of Arthur Chandler, Jr.
As our vice president.
A vice president, at least, yes. So Arthur and I'd sit in the studio. Kay'd be up in her home with the microphone. We each had earphones on, so we talked back and forth to each other. And you even had a 3-way hookup sometimes.
Yes, we did. We had all the celebrities that came to Cincinnati. We at least tried to get them on the show, and most of them were on. And sometimes they were appearing at the theaters downtown. And I had Edward Everett Horton, I guess I should call him.
Yeah.
He was in his dressing room putting on his makeup at the Cox Theater.
At least it wasn't television. It was radio.
And he was on the show, and I talked back and forth to him. Then the announcer was down at the studio, and, of course, we talked back and forth that way. So that made a 3-way hookup. Worked out real well.
I know the BlueBird Club was organized. You picked the BlueBird Club for a song, wasn't it? The BlueBird sings and...
Well, and Still the Bluebird Sings was a song that came out. It was in a Bing Crosby picture. It never was real popular like most Bing songs are. But I liked it, and it came to my mind when I was trying to think of a name.
I can remember the two lines that were sort of the actual theme of her whole show, though the clouds may hide
the sun
on high, and still the bluebird sings. Yeah, I can remember those. And that's actually the purpose of your club. Some of the things that you did are wonderful, Kay.
Yes, Jay, I think we did a lot that was for the good of shut-ins, stay-at-homes, beg your pardon.
Yes.
We collected tax stamps. Now, you don't have those out here, but in Ohio, we have sales tax stamps, and you send them in and get 3 cents on a dollar's worth. And by collecting just mountains and mountains of sales tax stamps, we were able to get wheelchairs and braces and hospital beds, radios, crutches, just things that shut-ins needed, you know. And all the members, all the people that listen. In fact, I still get tax stamps for our Bluebirds.
You still do? And well, the BlueBird Club is still more or less active then. You still have club members?
Yes, we do. So many of us became acquainted through the BlueBird Club that we kept up our telephoning and so forth.
I think that's a wonderful program. It ought to be on a whole national network. I wish I was a boss, and I could say we'll have a program with Kay Irion and the BlueBird Club coast to coast on that. Don't you think that's a good idea for shut-ins? I think they love it. We stay at home, excuse me. We could go on and on with the people that have appeared on your program. I remember when I was in town, you had Bill Robinson on one time.
Yes, Uncle Billy, I always called him.
Yeah.
He was a great friend of mine. I was very sad when he passed away because he was something that few show people are. He had a wonderful spirit about him that you just don't find in most celebrities.
Yeah, he was a great...
Celebrities are nice people and all that, but Uncle Billy had something extra.
Something real special. I met him. I had the pleasure of having him on my show out here about 3 or 4 years ago, and he was really a wonderful guy.
Yes,
well, you've done so much good for so many people, and now you're out here sort of less vacationing now.
It's the most wonderful vacation I think I've ever had.
First time in California.
Oh, it's just wonderful.
Seen a lot of things. You went to Hollywood Bowl the other night, didn't you?
Yes, the Romberg concert.
Yeah. Is there something you haven't done yet you'd like to do?
Oh, yes. I'd say there are a few things I'd like to do yet.
Well, just for instance, what?
Well, I haven't had any movie stars to come beg me to come see the studios yet.
No movie stars have been at your feet begging you to come, huh?
No, I can't understand it.
Well, I'll tell you something, Kay. We have some awful good friends over here at Paramount Studios. And you know that's where Bing Crosby makes pictures.
Oh.
Bob Hope makes pictures. Bob Hope
Really?
just made a picture called Fancy Pants with Lucille Ball, current one, and Fancy Pants with Lucille Ball, yeah. That's the name of the picture. Where did I see someplace they build that? Bob Hope in Fancy Pants, also selected shorts. He's making a picture over there right now called The Lemon Drop Kid, and I just wouldn't have a doubt in my mind of what they're shooting over there. And as soon as we sign this program off the air, you and I can hop in the car and we'll run over to Paramount and look through the studios.
Oh, Jay, that would be grand.
Okay. Have you seen those other networks, those minor ones along the Sunset Boulevard here?
No, I didn't notice them.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea. Just to go slumming, we'll go down through the hall here and look at some of the other networks, maybe. And Kay, I'll tell you what, you also had card showers for some of your shut-ins, didn't you, a lot of times?
Yes, their birthdays or when they needed cheering up
A little
or something
cheering
like
up.
that.
Well, you are far from needing cheering up right now, but I sort of thought I'd do something. Kay Irion, for over 5 years, had people send postcards and little letters and little notes of encouragement to shut-ins who were members of her BlueBird Club. And I want to turn the tables on you, Kay. I got a lot of nice listeners, and I ask them to write us and tell us funny signs they see in restaurants and send us silly surprise packages and send us all kinds of silly things. But I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to have everybody who's listening in today to send us a little postcard, just a little note saying, "Hi, I think you're wonderful," or "Hi, I enjoyed hearing you," or just "Hi, Kay." Send it to Surprise Package at ABC in Hollywood, and put Kay's name on the outside, either a postcard or a letter or anything, and I'll bet you'll never get able to get on the plane with the mail when you go back.
I'd take more than 40 pounds, I guess.
You sure would, but maybe we'll send them back for you on a separate plane. But I wish you would do that. Just a little note to this wonderful little gal, Kay Irion, who had the BlueBird Club back in Cincinnati for so long, and who's such a good sport. I wish you would send us a little postcard, just any kind of a note at all, to Kay. Just send it to Kay at Surprise Package and ABC in Hollywood, California. And before I say goodbye to you, Kay, we have a nice friend over here in Beverly Hills, our favorite florist. As a matter of fact, his name is John Patrick Burke, and I'd kind of like to have, as long as you're going out in high society with the movie stars in Paramount, Aunt. I want you to wear this beautiful double Ozello orchid corsage.
Oh.
Would you wear that, huh? Okay, that'll look nice on me.
Beautiful.
I'm so glad there's some people probably in Cincinnati listening. Want to say hello?
Oh, yes. Hi.
You can't say hello. I want to thank you so much, Kay Irion. Do have a nice time, and we'll have a good time this afternoon.
Well, thanks, Jane. I've enjoyed being here.
Well, I sure you weren't nervous.
Oh, no, not at all. I feel right at home before a microphone.
I do. Let's just go ahead and talk. We got some more kids that want puppies, and we want you to see them.
Of course.
So we'll make room for the kiddies, huh?
Yes, by all means.
Thanks, Kay Irion.
Thank you.
You're wonderful. So nice to have you on the show, Kay.